Hey y'all, I just wanted to shoot a quick video to talk about what's happening for the rest of the semester. But first, I wanted to remind you that I grade your work within 1 week of the due date. So you turn in your videos Wednesday night at midnight. I'll have your videos graded by Wednesday night at midnight at the latest. And I'm saying this because some of you I know a lot of you are working together, and you may have heard somebody else got a grade, but you haven't. It just takes time. It's kind of a long process. I think there's about 80 of you left in the class, and I probably spend 5 to 10 minutes on each video. So, if it's 5, that's 400 minutes, so it's a lot of time. And it's pretty tedious, so I try to spread it out so I can give you the best feedback possible. So that's kind of where we're at now. Moving forward, we're moving into the persuasive speech assignment. And on the one hand, if you've made it this far, you've turned everything in and you're doing well, congratulations, we're almost done. Keep pushing. But on the other hand, this is going to be the most challenging speech to write. It's going to be more challenging than the informative speech because you're going to use all the same instructions from last time. So you're going to have an introduction with an attention getter, a real reveal topic, and a preview statement. Each main point is going to have a signpost. You're going to state using the same pattern of wording. Transitions are a sentence that says the point you're leaving, the point you're going to next. You're going to fill your main points with lots of high quality evidence, and you're going to verbally cite it. And you're going to have a conclusion where you state that you're concluding your review and refer back to the attention getter. That's all stuff you should have already learned, and you should know exactly what I'm talking about when I just rattled that off. But now you're also going to have to bring persuasion into it. So instead of informing us in kind of a neutral or unbiased, there's no such thing as no bias, but in an informative speech, you're trying to be as fair and even as possible. In a persuasive speech, you're trying to convince us to take your side. So you're making arguments, you're using emotions. There's a lot of techniques for persuasive speaking that you're going to learn in the next few weeks. And if you haven't looked at sort of the rest of the schedule, the persuasive outline is due December 3rd, which is almost a month. I think today is the 12th, so it's about, 3 weeks away, I think. So you got 2 chapters, 3 weeks, you got to do some research. So you've got time, and you can do a good job, but make sure that you step up to this one and do your best, and then the semester will be over. All right, so now I'm going to flip the camera around and just look at the course really quickly to show you the dates I was talking about. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I just wanted to scroll through and show you a couple of things. First of all, you can see I've got 30 speeches left to grade. We're doing pretty good. One thing a bunch of people did on the outline is they missed some or a lot of the instructions that you were supposed to follow for writing the outline. So I want to show you the location of this information so that you can be sure if you need to go back and review the video lectures. So we're at the top of the course. And all the speech recording rules, if you need to go back and review that. Some people are still having trouble showing their cards, getting a good shot of themselves, having trouble with the lighting. So if you want to review the rules and examples, that might help. We're going to go down a little ways. Okay, so we only had one significant problem with this, so that's really good. But if you got any comment about plagiarism or not paraphrasing properly, you'll want to come back to this module. This page explains plagiarism in the class and why we need to avoid it. This page reminds you you are not allowed to use direct quotes. Everything has to be paraphrased. And then this page has several videos that teach you how to avoid plagiarism. And in particular, they give you really good strategies for paraphrasing research. Also, keep in mind, in the graded quiz, you answered a question. You wrote that you understood all of this and you would not turn in something that's plagiarized. And I know this might seem like a lot to some of you, but the point, usually, until I started doing this, I would get probably 30% speeches that were mostly plagiarized. Whether it was intentional cheating or not, it really doesn't matter. And so I'm trying to emphasize this to help those of you who haven't learned it yet understand what plagiarism is, how to paraphrase, and this is something you're going to need to do for the rest of your college career. And now with the apps that are out there, it's real easy to catch plagiarism. So if you want to be successful in college, you should probably figure this out sooner than later. But like I said, there were only a few minor cases, and then I think one person who had a fairly serious problem, so that's pretty good. All right, so in this video, Writing Main Points lecture, I teach you exactly what goes into a main point. So if you didn't signpost, you got a little points deduction. If you didn't state the topic of the point using the same pattern of wording, you got a deduction. And you have to verbally cite your sources. This is all covered in the video here. Also, here's a reminder again, direct quotes are not allowed in the speeches. In this video, I teach you exactly what I want you to do for the introduction and conclusion. One point of emphasis is that the intro and conclusion should be short, and the conclusion's pretty much always going to be shorter than any main point. But several of you had intros that were longer than any of your main points. So the intro, the way I'm teaching you, is designed to be short and sweet because I want the bulk of your work to go into the body of the speech. That's all explained in this video. Several people had some trouble outlining correctly, so this video lecture shows you how to outline the speech, and this is an example preparation outline. I'm assuming most people just use the preparation outline to kind of guide them for how they make their outline, which is fine, but in the video right above that, I explain how to do it. Okay, so now here we are in the Speaking to Persuade. You've got a quiz due the 15th, which is Thursday. And then you've got a couple of days to kind of think about a topic, and you're going to submit topics, which I'll give you feedback on. And the sooner you do that, I'll reply to these as soon as they start coming in. So if you want to get ahead of the curve, if you want to get everything done as fast as you can because you know you have a bunch of work in other classes coming, get your topic approved and you can get started. But make sure you watch this lecture because it explains everything about the assignment, and you will turn in something wrong if you don't watch this lecture. Alright, so the 15th, Thursday, you've got a quiz on the first persuasion chapter, and then 11 days later, the 26th, you've got a quiz on the other chapter. There's a lecture here, and this lecture gives you a lot of information you need to write the persuasive speech, and I'll be grading you on everything I teach you in the first persuasion lecture and the second persuasion lecture. So make sure you study those, ask questions if you don't understand something, and then you can see the persuasive speech is due December 3rd, the video is due December 10th, and then I'll get those graded as soon as I can, and we'll wrap up the course. So if you have any questions, as always, ask in the Common Course questions, and good luck with the rest of the semester. I'm looking forward to working with you on the persuasive speech.